Chosen ones, these people, those people from your past, they didn't like you. They went out of their way to cause harm and pain and destruction in your life. All because they kept telling you that they didn't like you, right? But it's like, if they didn't like you, why were they always putting in so much energy to let you know that? Why were they always investing so much energy into you? Why were they having whole conversations about you to other people? Why was your name always in their mouth if they didn't like you? Let me tell you something. These people didn't like you, but they didn't even realize why they didn't like you. They couldn't even understand their own feelings. It's like when you were in their presence, chosen ones, they got so everything that they disliked about themselves, all of their insecurities kept coming up to the surface to be felt, right? But because they didn't like that feeling, they didn't like that uncomfortable feeling, they're thinking that it's you. But all it is they're just looking at the mirror. We are the mirrors. We mirror back to them what they need to heal within themselves. It's like we brought them a message, and because they didn't like the message, they're shooting the messenger. Let me tell you some chosen ones. These people, they probably went to other people talking about, man, I just can't stand her. I just do not like him. And then people would probably ask them like, okay, so why don't you just leave her alone? Why don't you just stop messing with him? If you don't like them so much, why don't you just leave them alone? Why don't you just go on about your life? But these people, they couldn't even answer that question. Like your enemies, they would be like your enemy would be talking to somebody else. And then it's like they would ask your enemy, if you don't like them, why can't you just leave them alone? They are speechless by that question because they don't even know why they can't leave you alone. Because they don't want to leave you alone. Because what's happening here is anytime they think of you, they think of what they're insecure about. And instead of them facing themselves, looking in the mirror, and dealing with that own pain, dealing with those triggers, they would rather ignore that, continue to suppress that, and just unleash all of that energy onto you, because it's easier to throw it back onto something else than to deal with it on your own. That's why they couldn't leave you alone. That's why they didn't want to leave you alone, because they wanted to use you as their punching bag. But you see, God removed you from these people's lives, so they had no other choice but to deal with everything that they had to deal with, because they could no longer blame you, because those problems still persisted even when you were gone.